And timing in life is everything, and what a perfect time for the North Melbourne President James Brayshaw to join me. Congratulations, your boys are playing sensationally.
Well, half the job's done, but it's good. It's good.
It is, but they're playing with some verve and vigour, with the shin bone of spirit. We talk about this. David King said this is the first time he's seen it all year. Yeah,
it's good. And that's really necessary, Ed. You know, you've got to come together as a group. It's got to mean something to you. You know, I mean, they're all, I guess, cliched statements, but, you know, the stake in the ground, the what do we stand for as a club is really all you've got to hang your hat on as a footy team and a club, and it's been good so far.
James, we're going to talk about the club in a few moments' time. I was away, and I was watching the last couple of weeks, shaking my head some of the things going on in the media regarding you. And I've got headlines here. Brayshaw must be next from Caroline Wilson. The Herald Sun trying to make you look stupid in the paper, which I found insulting as a colleague, as a presidential colleague. We've got some of these other ones, the putting president. All these things seem to be attacking you, but without really anything to attack you on. Have you been flabbergasted by what you've seen? Because I have.
Look, Ed, I think at the end of the day, you've got to separate what is a personal agenda from, you know, facts around where the club's at. And you know better than anyone, because we sat in your office 4.5 years ago when I took this job on and had a really honest discussion about where the club's at. So, you know, maybe the best thing to do here is for me to put it back onto you and say, if at that point, 4.5 years ago in Richmond when we had that chat, I said to you, in 4.5 years we would have built a $15 million facility, have membership at 33,000, have revenue at over 30 million, have a brand new growth area in the south of Tasmania that's been an unprecedented success, have $4 million invested in footy that we couldn't even find back in those days, what would you have said?
I'd said, fantastic, you've done a beautiful job. And one of the things I find that people have a go at you about is these white knights that you said early on. And we did. You sat there and you said, I want to go out and I think I can find 4 blokes, maybe get $2 million. Now, business plans change. There's a thing called the global financial crisis that's happened in between. If you can find anyone who's got $2 million spare at the moment. Now, I'm not going to be a cheerleader for you. I'm going to ask you some questions about it at the moment, but I think this is unfair that what people have gone after you about. OK, the White Knights didn't eventuate, but you changed your business plan.
Well, you have to on their own. I mean, as you said, the share price index at that point was 6,000. It's now hovering at just over 4. So if we'd put that plan together, we would have spent the next 4 years trying to get those blokes their money back. It would have actually been a disaster. So very pleased we didn't do that in a way. But look, I said to Mike Sheehan the other day in an interview, Ed, I'm a father of 4 and have been for 18 years, and I still make mistakes with my 4-year-old Freddie because you don't know everything. You don't always get it right. You do, you know, make stuff up on the run and try and do the best thing for your club and your people, and there are times when you get it wrong. And I put my hand over my heart and say that I have got it wrong at times, but only ever in the pursuit of making this a great club. And I think we're a long way down the path of really shoring up this club and giving it a great future.
James, I've been around a long time. I can smell the trail. Someone's leaking, somebody's trying to undermine you at your club. Do you know who it is? And the catalyst of this was the removal by resignation of Eugene Arocki, your CEO. Who is trying to destabilise your club? We've got the old-timers. Lloyd Hollyoake has come out and again, almost an unprecedented attack. Caroline Wilson keeps talking about the families of North Melbourne. The leaks from things that can only come from within your club about, you know, putting while Hugh Delahunty was in it. Forget the putting side of it. Who's leaking?
Look, I don't know the answer to that, Ed. I hope no one. You know, one of the things about our club over the last 4.5 years is that we've been very good in that area. So the last couple of weeks have been disappointing. But look, you know, as we know, when you profess to be a leader, you know, when things go wrong, you take responsibility. When things go well, you apportion credit. And, you know, that's what we're about. Are
you leading with your chin a little bit? You're sitting in the super box. We had a shot earlier, sitting on your own. Was today maybe the day to go and sit with the sponsors during the game? I mean, there's not much I sit during the game, and if anybody talks to me, I go off my head. So shut up, leave me alone. Right, you're doing that there. But do you lead with your chin on this one? Is this, are you being obstinate, or is this just something you like to do?
No, I tell you why I do that, Ed, is because you find that you get abused during the game, and that's just people being passionate about footy. I don't want to put people at the football sitting next to me through that. People turning around and flying at you. So, you know, a few years ago I decided the best thing to do was to take yourself out of that environment and sit away from people so that they can enjoy the footy without having to be subject to the abuse that I get, you know, and I'm sure you do too. So it's really as simple as that.
You're a very public person by nature of what you do for a living, but you're a private man away from all that sort of stuff. Do you battle sometimes trying to get that together? The talk about going down to Tasmania, sitting in the stats box as opposed to schmoozing the politicians. Is that just something you have to work on?
Yeah, I think I'm on public record as saying that, you know, we could easily have got that wrong. I mean, we were the away team of that game, so you don't get a lot of choices to where you sit. You do as you're told, really. I wasn't at the function because I was on air. Could it have been done better? Probably could have. But, yeah, I am a private person and, you know, your family sort of wear a bit of what we do.
Yeah,
I know yours do too.
What about that stuff in the paper? That's unfair.
No, and I must admit, my beautiful wife is at the footy today, actually, because all the North girls are in a box, and players' wives and girlfriends and coaches' wives, and it's terrific. They all get together. There was a time about a week and a half ago where she did look at me and say, honestly, how much more of this are you going to put up with?
Yeah.
You know, you're doing it for nothing. You are a volunteer.
Well, you're putting money into it. You're doing more than doing it for nothing.
But Ed, we know
so
that.
So why are you doing it?
Because I love this footy club, and I know we're that close. I can smell it. You know, we've come an enormous distance, and we're not far away from this place being unbelievably exciting and leaping forward into, you know, being a strong, vibrant, great club in the AFL with a huge future. So that's why you do it.
We've got 60 minutes in this, 60 seconds rather left. 60 minutes. Yep. That's on tonight. 60 seconds left. Tell me what this club is going to provide for the supporters in the next 2 to 3 years to set itself up post this TV contract.
Well, I've talked about growth. We must grow our supporter base. It's got to get bigger, and that's why Southern Tasmania is so important, regional Victoria is so important, the growth corridor northwest of Melbourne. So we've got to get the supporter base growing. We've also got to get attendances up. We've got to get membership up. We've got to get all the indexes, the matrices that make a footy club really strong. But we've also got to start providing this sort of entertainment on a regular basis. You know, we've got a really exciting group of young players. They're all going to play 10 years together. When they come together and when they start really working for each other, look out.
Round 15 in Tasmania is a big game. Tell us about that.
West Coast Eagles, a huge corporate support already down at Blunston Arena. I think a seat's going to be almost impossible to come by on this day. This has been a huge success, Ed. You know, we worked really hard, and Trevor O'Hoy, one of our directors, did a great job helping us put our stake in the ground down there. And the sea of blue and white, I said at the time it was like Arden Street back in the days when you were down there, mate. It was phenomenal. So, you know, we've been really pleased with the support we've got down there, but that's got to grow and get bigger, and we've got to grow and get bigger.
James, thanks for coming on, mate. There's only one way to answer the critics, and that's what's going on out here at the moment and what you're saying there. And I hope in 2 years' time, when you stand up as the president of the Kangaroos, you can point at a few things and say to a few of the naysayers, that was what was going on while you're trying to kick me to death.
Good on you.
Good luck. James Brayshaw is the president of the Kangaroos. They lead by 41 points at half-time. They're the boys who have got to get the job done for the president today and for the supporters and for the sponsors. The Kangaroos lead 70-29 at half-time at Etihad Stadium.